What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United in action again in the FA Cup, this time third round and up against Arsenal unfortunately at the Emirates Stadium. 3 p.m. kickoff and the manager is of course Mikel Arteta. And earlier on in the season we did play Arsenal and we lost unfortunately 2-0 in the Premier League, and that was due to two set piece goals, very poor goals to be given away by Manchester United. But in terms of some insights for the match, this is the 16th different FA Cup tie between Arsenal and Manchester United, the second most in the competition's history after Everton versus Liverpool. This is the first meeting between Arsenal and Manchester United in the third round of the FA Cup, and Arsenal have eliminated the holders of the FA Cup on each of the last 6 occasions they've faced them, most recently beating Manchester City 2-0 in the 2019-20 semi-final, and Manchester United have eliminated Arsenal from the FA Cup more than any other side in the competition's history with 8, while the Gunners have knocked out the Red Devils more than any other team with 7 as well. So Arsenal have been eliminated from the FA Cup at the third round in 2 of the last three seasons, unfortunately for them. So yeah, some recent form for Arsenal. They are coming into this game with a 2-0 loss to Newcastle, unfortunately for them, in the EFL Cup semi-final first leg. And then they also drew to Brighton away from home in the Premier League. They did beat Brentford though before that, and they won against Ipswich and Crystal Palace as well. So they are coming in some decent form in the Premier League, but of course their last match they did lose to Newcastle. So in terms of some team news for Arsenal, of course Ben White, Saka, Noweri, I think that's how you say his name, and Tomiyasu are all out. And so yeah, in terms of Arsenal's lineup, this is how I'm expecting them to line up. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko making up the back 5. Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard making up the midfield 3. Then Jesus, Havertz and Martinelli making up that front 3. So in terms of how Arsenal play, usually they're going to line up in that 4-3-3 formation. Can sometimes switch to a 4-3-2-1 as well. So they're really brilliant at set plays, and you got to stop the set pieces if you want to have any chance of beating them. So of course Man United did concede 2 goals in the Premier League against Arsenal, set piece goals, very poor goals to be given away, but they are renowned for being really good in set plays as well. So they do invite pressure and then exploit space that gets left in behind as well. They make it difficult for the opposition, but they like to build up from the back as well, drawing opponents forward to create space and quickly transitioning into attack. High pressing as well, pushing the opposition up the pitch to make it harder for them to create chances. They are tactically flexible as well, like I mentioned. They do switch from the 4-3-3 formation to the 4-3-2-1 as well. Player rotations, they like using different players in different positions, like Zinchenko playing the left wing or in the centre as well. So in terms of defending, they've got really high defensive standards. Like Saliba and Gabriel are really good front foot centre backs. They are really good in terms of protecting Raya and stopping shots and just defending in general. It's a really good partnership that we see in the Premier League. They make opposition suffer as well from playing out from the back. They make it difficult for you to play out from the back, and that's what I do remember from United's game in the Premier League. I felt like as if it was difficult for Manchester United at times to play out from the back, and Arsenal did win the ball back sometimes. In terms of their defensive approach, Arsenal typically set up with a high line and play with all 10 field out players occupying positions in the opposition half. Arsenal's preferred formation is 4-3-3, but they can also change that to a 4-3-2-1 or a 3-2-2-3 as well. In terms of the central midfielder, Arteta places a lot of importance on the central midfielder position and often changes players in this role as well. And pragmatism, Arteta prefers to control and dominate games rather than playing free-flowing attacking football as well. So I think they're a really good side. You're possibly a little bit unlucky not to win the Premier League last season. They finished 2 points behind Manchester City. So possibly a little bit unlucky not to win the Premier League last season. But in terms of their star man, for me, it would have to be Bukayo Saka. But unfortunately for Bukayo Saka, he is injured. So I'm going to have to go with Odegaard as Arsenal's match winner. So that's Arsenal for you. They are a really good side, and I'm expecting them to basically dominate the game. I'm expecting Arsenal to dominate possession, and I think it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United tomorrow. In terms of United, though, we are coming away with a 2-2 draw against Liverpool. But before that, I think we had 3 consecutive losses in the Premier League to Newcastle, Wolves and Bournemouth. So in terms of form, it's not looking great for Man United recently. However, I was pretty surprised with that 2-2 draw against Liverpool. I thought we definitely earned a point against Liverpool at Anfield, and possibly we could have come away with all 3 points if Maguire had scored in the 97th minute. If he just kept his shot down low. And it was a difficult pass that Xerxes played into him. But on another day, if unfortunately he's Harry Maguire, he's a centre back, and if it's someone else like a Højlund or like a Bruno, or an Ahmad or a Xerxes or someone that can finish, Man United are most probably going to be coming away from Anfield with all 3 points. But yeah, in terms of United though, you've got a couple of players. I think Rashford is looking like he's going to be leaving in this transfer window as well. I don't think any players are going to be coming in. But Rashford is most probably not going to be involved. Shaw, Lindelof and Mount are also out injured still as well. So in terms of Manchester United's 11, my Man United 11, this is who I've gone with. It's basically the pretty similar 11 that I'm going with recently. Of course, Onana and net, Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez making up the back three. I think Maguire is a little bit unfortunate to miss out, but I think that back three is basically our best back three, and also it allows me to play Ahmad in that right wing back position. And I know I've been saying how Ahmad is really good in that inside right 10 position, but I just don't think we have enough quality when Mazraoui and Dalot play in the wing back positions. I believe that Ahmad is a lot better in terms of going forward as well. There's a lot of space down that right side as well, and then when you can switch the play, then Ahmad can be free going down that right side as well. So yeah, in terms of the central midfield partnership, I'm going with Ugarte and Mainu in there. I think they are our best midfield partnership, and then Dalot at left wing back. I don't think Dalot's amazing. I think he's all right, but he could be doing a little bit better in terms of going forward and stuff. And then front two, Xerxes and Fernandes, and then finally Højlund up front. So in terms of Manchester United star man, I'm going to have to say it's Ahmad again. I think he's been the player of the season so far for me. So hopefully Ahmad can turn up and bag some goals against Arsenal, but we will see. So in terms of how do you beat Arsenal, of course, pace, power, strength, unpredictability, but I think using them 3 centre-backs to build up is going to be key. If we can invite Arsenal onto us and then play out from the back really well using them 3 centre-backs, then I think we could have a decent game. In terms of defensively, we have to be careful on the set pieces. We got to win the second balls in the box. It's, Arsenal going to be very dangerous from set pieces, so we have to be winning the second balls in the box as well. I think protecting Onana as well. I think what Arsenal players did really well, when we lost 2-0 to them, was that they blocked Onana basically, and they kind of just blocked everyone, and it was really difficult for the Man United players to basically head the ball out or just get to the ball, because the blocking tactics that Arsenal players were using were working really well, sorry. So in terms of the wing backs as well, I think they need to have a good game basically, if we are to get anything, because recently in games where we've not performed really well, it's because Mazraoui or Dalot are too far. They're too far back basically when we win the ball back. And when we win the ball back, Dalot and Ahmad or whoever plays in the wing back positions, they need to be bursting forward really quickly and kind of getting into the opposition half as soon as we win the ball back, because at times this season when we've played with the likes of Mazraoui and Dalot, who are a little bit conservative because they are naturally defenders, we're not kind of moving the ball through the thirds quick enough through them. And the wing backs in this 3 at the back system are probably the most important players, I'd say. But yeah, in terms of other things as well, I think scoring early needs to be a not necessarily a priority, I would say. Probably if we can get a goal early, then then Arsenal are going to have to come onto us, and then that's going to leave space in behind for us to break. In terms of my score prediction though, I'll be honest, I'm not, necessarily that confident. I wasn't confident against Liverpool either. I did predict a loss against Liverpool, and we did end up winning. We did end up drawing. Sorry, 2-2-2-all. So I didn't expect us to draw. I fully expected us to lose. But maybe I need to do a little bit more reverse psychology and kind of just predict losses for United, and then we might come away with some wins. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not kind of overly confident for this game. I think Arsenal are going to get the better of us, and I think Arsenal are going to win. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Arsenal win. And I think who's going to score? I think Odegaard is going to score one and Havertz is going to score the other. Anyway, hopefully I'm proven wrong, and hopefully Man United do beat Arsenal, progress into the next round of the FA Cup, and we do defend our title, but we will see. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.